Hey mates, and welcome to Blindformers. I'm your host Blind Prime, and for today I have for you Maximum Series Dupe with Deadpool accessory. This is an exciting thing to be talking about today because Dupe with Deadpool was something that I really wanted back in the Toy Biz days, but I just could never find one on the shelf. And I didn't really have a credit card back then because I just got into college and I didn't really mess around with eBay because I spent all my money on, well, going out and doing things. So I had a very exciting college time. But it meant I missed out on Dupe with Deadpool. So imagine my surprise whenever I heard that the Maximum series Dupe was going to come with his own Deadpool too. And I was like, oh man, Dupe with Deadpool again. And I get to finally get a hold of Dupe and finally get a hold of a Deadpool accessory. So without further ado, let's talk about this exciting Maximum Series product in depth and discuss some of its pros and cons from the blind perspective. And if you're wondering what you've found here, well, this is Blindformers. I raise awareness for the blind and the visually impaired through alternative means and methods, and this is, in a way, showcasing to you, the sighted, that us people who are disabled can still enjoy the things that we enjoyed when we weren't disabled, when we become disabled. It's just we enjoy them in a new and different manner. Like, I definitely enjoy this set, but I enjoy it in different ways than I used to enjoy stuff. So, join me today as I talk about the ways that I enjoy this Maximum Series Dupe with Deadpool, and please hit the like button, share and subscribe, and comment below and tell me which is your favorite Dupe figure and which is your favorite Deadpool accessory. You know what? One of my favorite Deadpool accessories is the one that came with that really awesome scooter. It's nice to get a 1/12 scale scooter, and you got a Deadpool for free. Alright. So let's of course talk about the main man himself, Dupe, and then we'll move on to Deadpool. I think Dupe is the first figure we should discuss today. And Dupe feels kind of like a flying potato. He's even got little lumps on him that feel like potato eyes across his back. He is a very odd textured figure because he's got a rough feel to him. He actually does kind of feel like a potato. It's really weird. And I looked this character up, and Dupe is very interesting because he's got reality bending powers, but he's the camera guy for X-Force, and it just makes sense. Of course, there would be the camera guy for X-Force would be a reality bender who can have an entire reality inside of his body. He's a weird one, but he can survive in everything, and he was a Cold War experiment gone astray. How interesting. Dupe is very, very fun, and I like that he comes with this stand. I wonder if this stand is clear or not. I'm not sure, but I do like the stand, and I like the fact that he's well balanced on the stand. Like, I can wiggle it around, and he just... I could bump into this Dupe and he's not going to fall. I think that's really nice. I do say this is a nice Dupe accessory, and they did a very good job in balancing it and the stand to ensure that it stays on your shelf longer than like the weird drone that came with Moth Gideon. That drone notoriously falls over all the time. But does Dupe? No, Dupe's really good. So, kudos to you out there designing the Dupe. And of course, we can't just talk about your Dupe without talking about his accessories. So we're going to set the Dupe over here off to the side, and we're really going to discuss... Actually, before we discuss that, let's do some size comparisons, huh? So, we're going to compare Dupe to the Toy Biz Colossus. Now, this is Toy Biz Colossus, and this Dupe. Dupe is really small compared to Toy Biz Colossus. But Toy Biz Colossus could kind of carry Dupe in his arms, like, oh, they're just buddies. Oh, it's so sweet. Anyway, that's just a little comparison of Dupe. I think Dupe is the same size as, Colossus's entire midsection. It's the same size as Dupe, like width and height. Most likely weight, too. Actually, probably more on the weight. Anyway, just a fun little comparison. So let's set Dupe off over here to the side. And let's bring in Deadpool. Now here is our Deadpool. And of course, Deadpool he's a very articulated figure. And I was messing around with my G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes. It's the G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes, the first version, isn't the best articulated figure in G.I. Joe Classified Series, but he is a very well articulated figure in G.I. Joe Classified series. And I wanted to bring him out and just do a nice little comparison of, don't fall over, of him and of Snake Eyes and Deadpool here, because Snake Eyes is one of the more articulated figures in the G.I. Joe Classified series line, and I think it's just fun to compare these two modern day figures together and discuss, pros and cons. So without further ado, let's do that. Now there's some difficulties with Classified series Snake Eyes, and one, he doesn't like to stand, so I usually have him on a stand. First and foremost, we're going to compare them side by side, and Deadpool and him are actually about the same height. Deadpool is a wider figure, just by a little bit, and he stands just a smidge, actually no, not even just a smidge. Him and Snake Eyes are actually the same height, except their shoulders, Deadpool's shoulders are a bit bulkier, and that makes him a bit taller than Snake Eyes' shoulders. Even their hands are probably the same size. Yeah, their hands are about the same size too. So that's just something interesting about the two figures. Now let's talk about articulation. We're just going to go over our articulation for each of them and discuss the differences. So Deadpool Maximum Series has a bendable toe. He's got toe tilt. He also has an ankle tilt that is ratcheted, really nice. He's got the ankle swivel at the bottom, the foot swivel. He's got a boot rotation, double jointed knees. He's also got a thigh rotation. And he can kick his leg sideways at about a little less than 90 on the right side and a little less than 90 on the left side. He can kick his leg forward at 90 in the front and less than 90, actually barely anything in the back. And he has no waist rotation whatsoever, which is just a weird choice for this figure. But he does have a ab crunch that's really nice, a good ab crunch. It's just weird he doesn't have waist rotation. You have to worry about breaking the figure. But he does have core rotation up here around his pecs, and he has a ball-jointed section up there, so he can get all sorts of little motions going on up in his chest region. And then we come over here to his arms. He's got a butterfly, and he's got a bicep rotation. He can move his arm up just a bit more than a 90 at the shoulder. He can also rotate his arm 360 degrees. And then we come out here to he's got double jointed elbows, and his hand can swivel all the way around. He also, nope, that's it for his joints. So, that's pretty good. That is some pretty good, articulation there. Now let's see what, we've got our version 1 Snake Eyes here. He has, notably, he doesn't have any toe tilt, but he does have more of an ankle swivel, but he also has he actually has the same exact kind of foot area that Deadpool has. He also has double jointed knees like Deadpool. He has thigh rotation like Deadpool. He can move up more than a 90 forward, way more than a 90, and backwards he can move about 20 degrees, maybe a little more. He also has a drop-down hinge that allows him to get more backwards motion, say 25 degrees, and a lot more motion on the side where he can actually pop his hip out of socket and kick weirdly. But that's something he can do. He can kick sideways at 90 degrees, sideways at 90 degrees, and pop those hinges back into place. There we go. He has waist rotation, and then he has got ab crunch, but he does not get a fun little bicep thing. But he does have a ball joint in the waist, so he gets some really fun articulated points in the waist rotation down there. So that's the difference. It's like they assembled the Deadpool backwards when it comes to the core. It's very odd choice there. But the arms are actually about the same, but he also has butterfly, double jointed elbows, and everything else. So they are very similar, though the big differences are that there's drop down hinges in the G.I. Joe Classified figure. The G.I. Joe Classified figure has a ball joint in the waist, and not as well articulated head, because this Deadpool does have a better articulated head. He can do a lot. So let's set the snake eyes off to the side. I just wanted to do that little comparison of a very articulated figure that's well known of against this Deadpool. And I think that, I think they're about equal. This Deadpool does have a much more articulated head sculpt, so you can get all sorts of different, like, cockeyed looks and stuff for Deadpool. I think that was fun. A letdown with this Maximum series where there weren't that many heads with this Deadpool, and that's something that, we got quite a few heads with the Maximum series Hulk, and I was hoping that we'd get a lot of heads with Deadpool because he's a very expressive guy, and so having very expressive heads is just something that's known in Deadpool, and so that is a shame. But that's it. Okay, so those are the negatives on this figure. Just out of the box, I'm gonna give them to you. No waist rotation, but it's made up for in the top part, and he's also one of the few characters that you can spin his top part around 180 degrees, and it makes sense for Deadpool, especially if he's dealing with the Hulk or something like that. Like, you could have him spun around 180 degrees, and we've got ourselves... Where is he? Come here, you. There he is. Who's a big guy? Oh, who's a big guy? Yes, he is. Oh, it's Omega Red, and you can have Omega Red, wrapping a tendril around Deadpool, and Omega Red just spun Deadpool around, but Deadpool's front half stayed the same. Yeah, you can do a lot of fun things with this action figure because it's Deadpool, and that's something that's just enjoyable. Get your arm in there. There we go. There we are. It's just Deadpool, so it makes sense that he's just going to kind of point at him and laugh about being spun backwards. And, of course, my Omega Supreme... Not Omega Supreme. Omega Red is, I think, 20 years old now? Crap, you're 21. I think you're 21 years old now, Omega Supreme. Who's an old guy? Who can go drinking? You can go drinking. Okay. So that's just a little bit with Omega Supreme and Deadpool. And of course, we've got the ultimate figure of articulated wonderment, and the figure that was well known for being articulated immensely in the past, and that is our Amazing Spider-Man from Toy Biz. Now, Amazing Spider-Man still wins in the head department, okay? His head can look up insanely. Deadpool's head can actually look up pretty similarly, honestly. Yeah, Spider-Man gets more range in that, but Deadpool definitely wins it, though Spider-Man can't wiggle his head back and forth, and Deadpool not only can look straight up, but he can also crack his neck left and right, and that's something that Amazing Spider-Man from Toy Biz just can't do. There's the, I'm comparing him to 20-old figures, I know, but still, it's just neat to compare him to this stuff. We've got, the bicep, that the butterfly that doesn't exist in the Amazing Spider-Man. The double jointed elbows exist in Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man has the, and this is the Sentinel series one, by the way, has the fingers that each individually move, and he does have actually toe tilt, and he's got just about everything else. And he does have a terrible waist rotation, where it's just nasty looking. But he doesn't have a rotation at the ab crunch. Anyway, there you go. There's just some small little comparisons, and of course we forgot to compare heights. So this is Spider-Man compared to, and he's all messed up with the legs. So his legs are a little further apart than they should be, for reasons. There we go. There we go. Comparing them together. There we are. Because Deadpool likes Spider-Man and he wants to be friends with Peter Parker. Here we are together, Deadpool and Spider-Man. And Spider-Man head and Deadpool's just about the same height. Kind of interesting. So let's go over Deadpool's accessories before I give you the final decision on this character. We're going to discuss his accessories that he comes with first. That comes on him, I mean to say. Anyway, we get a pointer finger for his right hand out of the box, and a peace sign for his left hand out of the box. I really like the fact that he gets a peace sign. We've got the rock on hand for rock and roll, and now I got to get Deadpool and rock and roll together, just kind of chilling. One giving the rock and roll, and the other one a peace sign. I just think that will work. Now we have the other accessories for him are these little ninja swords. They're shorter than katanas. They're like half the size of katanas, but they're really neat. Um, Odd choice for swords because he's better known for his katanas, but whatever. Swords are swords, and he's got him on his back in an X pattern, which is always fun. And we come out here to his belt, and this belt's really what I love about this figure right here. Is this belt has the little Deadpool face in it, and it's sculpted in there so you could feel it. And I remember it from Cable versus Deadpool, which is just straight up my favorite Deadpool series of all time. We've got a pistol in his belt loop area, and then we have a pistol on his right leg, and down towards his right boot, we have a knife. A knife that generally gets stuck in his head, because he's always getting stabbed in the head with a knife. Now, speaking of Cable versus Deadpool, we do have a Cable somewhere, I think, right? Where's my Cable? Oh, we're going to compare Deadpool to Cable. Here you are. Yeah. Here we go. Here is the Marvel Legends Juggernaut Wave Cable compared to Deadpool. And wow, Cable's a much bigger figure. Just straight up, boom. Cable's massive. Cable's a beast. There we are. Top of Deadpool's head comes to Cable's nose, where he looks up at him. Oh, he's always looking up to Cable. If you haven't ever read the Cable versus Deadpool comic book series, I highly recommend it. It is a lot of fun. It's a great series to read overall. And of course, I just knocked him over and knocked some accessories over because I'm being cute, trying to have some fun with it. And Cable's just not having it. Bad Cable. You're supposed to stand up. Thank you. Now let's go ahead and have a little fun with this. Let's raise your hand up there. Okay. He's gotta really reach for this one. Okay, there we are. Does it work? No. Darn it, Cable, you're too tall. Okay, so we're just gonna raise your arm up even further. Come on. Come on, Deadpool. What's going on with this arm? Can we raise it backwards? Ah, there we go. There it is. There it is. There we go. Okay. Does that give enough reach? Does that give enough reach? Oh, he's going to have to stand up on his tiptoes to give Cable bunny ears. No one's given Cable bunny ears yet. Talking about the Maxwell Series Deadpool. You've seen it first here. Blind_Prime. Blindformers. Good old bunny ears for Cable. Okay. Now, Cable's a heavier figure, but I just wanted to compare those real quick because I think they're just a lot of fun to have together. It's a fun figure to have overall. We've got, I showed you Omega Red and Cable, and I showed you that, and I showed you him. Here's, of course, Colossus, a big character from the movies with Deadpool, and we're going to put Colossus behind Deadpool, and that's where Deadpool likes Colossus. There we are. Now we've got stand-up Colossus. Colossus is old. He's an old figure, but there it is. He is so much wider than Deadpool. It's massive, how the difference of his sizes, but I love this figure a lot. I really like the feel of him, and speaking of the feel, let's discuss that real quick before we finally get into the end of today's video, where I talk about the rest of his accessories after a little, just having some fun doing size comparisons. So we're going to talk about some textures real quick. Now, he's got some really great wrinkle textures in his boots, and on the underside of his boots, we actually do get treading, which is not something we get normally in Marvel Legends that I've seen, and I really appreciate the change there, where we actually got some treads for our boots. Really nice. He's got some really great textures for the straps that go across the boot at the top around the knife area. The knife hilt itself, the sheath is not as sculpted as I would like, but it's got a decent really bit to it. We've got a decent fabric kind of sculpture texture for the legs. It's not really sculpted too well except for muscle textures. The texture itself is a bit of a matte texture, like he's not wearing something that really is too glossy. It feels nice. It feels nice. It feels like spandex or something. It really has a good texture to it, I think. He feels great in the hand, is what I'm trying to say there. He's got some great textures over here with his little gun. He's got a pistol that's decent in his right hip holster, and then he's got a pistol on his left belt, on his right belt area. And the belt's just chock full of textures going all the way around to the back. I really do like that. I like this X pattern that the swords give us and the textures we get there and there on the shields. I do think that they could have given it a bit more, given us a little bit more, but it's decent. I think it's supposed to symbolize the sheaths are made out of composite materials, so they're not really well textured because they're machined. They're just something that he bought to put on. He's very utilitarian like that. If he has a favorite weapon, it usually gets destroyed, and then he just has a new favorite weapon. And we come around here to the sides. He's got the little straps that hold his katanas onto his back. I don't know if he can take his katanas off his back. They may be fused into his back, and if so, that is a shame. It means you can't really do anything like take these off and give them to somebody else. Don't really want to break the figure. I don't think you can take these off. I think they got fused into his back, which is a shame. Just a crying shame. Oh, if I could just take them off and put something else on your back, I could give you like a backpack from a G.I. Joe. You could have some fun. Oh well. I'm gonna have to say that takes points off. The fact you can't remove these sword sheaths from his back. They're stuck in there. And that is sad. Now we're gonna move around here to the arms. The arms got some decent muscle textures. It's all muscle textures going on with this guy, other than the occasional wrinkle in the fabric or the occasional strap texture that's going on. But that's just about it. Now, up here at the head, we have a solid face, nose sticking out, these big old expressive eyes, and then it comes over around here. His hood has a little peak that's folded backwards across the back of his head, and they even did so far as to texture the slit that he uses to slide his little face mask on and off. I think that's really nice. So that's the Deadpool action figure, and I'm going to give him he's getting an A. He's a really good figure. He's a really good figure. Now, to make him an S, you would have been able to take these weapons off of Deadpool, because he's always taking weapons on and off, and I think that would have been just an amazing thing to do with this Deadpool figure, is to give him the ability to remove these accessories and interchange them with other things, because he's always doing something new, unique, and crazy. He doesn't always have the same getup. And as a Maximum Series product, which is supposed to be the pinnacle product, I was expecting a Deadpool that can serve a very versatile Deadpool, a Deadpool that I can utilize in many different situations. But this Deadpool, due to the fact his swords are stuck on his back, he doesn't have many varying situations to really talk about. By the way, he does come with 2 swords. We talked about that. Now let's talk about some other fun little things about him. Fun random accessories he comes with are a stick of dynamite that has a little fuse already lit action going on there, and a chimichanga. So he can hold the chimichanga. And how can he hold the chimichanga? He's got a bunch of hands to hold the chimichanga with, and we'll talk about the hands before we talk about the guns. Where are the hands? Give me a hand. Give me all the hands. He also comes with the spare head, so we'll talk about that spare head real quick. Give me all these hands. I want your hands. Give me all your hands. Hungry for hands. Alright, here's the head for Deadpool. This is his face mask up bit so that he can kiss Mary Jane in an alley. Wait, wrong movie. But that's the only difference I can really tell about that head. Now, let's talk about the hands. So we get a fist. This is a C-grip hand for the right hand. And then we get a pointer finger for the left hand to accent the pointer finger for the right hand so he can do the yeah thing. He also has a trigger hand for the right hand. He gets a fisticuff for the left hand. He gets a fisticuff for the right hand. A fisticuff for the right hand. Yeah, I think. Pretty sure that's what this is. Unless this is the pointer finger. No, fisticuff. Okay, fisticuffs. Both fisticuffs. He also gets a trigger hand for the left hand. He gets another fisticuff. What's going on here? Oh, this is the right hand fisticuff. I already talked about the left hand fisticuff. All right, now we're moving on. We've got a thumbs up. I think this is the thumbs up. Yeah, that's a thumbs up. Thumbs up hand. And that's all his hands. He's got a good amount of hands. You can do all sorts of fun things with him. Now, the final accessories he comes with is just this big old gun. This is just a big gun. It's huge. It's reminiscent of the 50 cal that comes with Rock and Roll from G.I. Joe Classified series. It feels very similar to that gun, except a little more cartoonish. He also comes with a blast effect that goes with it. He comes with 3 blast effects, a small one, a medium one, and a large one, and I kind of plugged them all into the guns. But we're going to pull them all out real quick to showcase them all together. Now, there we go, there we go, there we go. There's our 3 things together. Not too bad, not too bad. I like these accessories, and these accessories will work with the G.I. Joe Classified series characters and guns. So this is the 50 cal, the big old gun. Then we get this other gun that's more of a cartoonishly styled, reminds me of a P90 from Stargate SG-1. It really does. I know it's not, but it just screams that in my head for some weird reason. Maybe it's the scope at the top that's doing it, but it's just a bigger gun. It's bulky. It's really heavy. It has this little kickstand area, but they don't move down. They don't move at all. Just one solid piece of plastic, and I hope they painted it well. And then finally, we got the M16 style gun, or AK-47 style gun. It doesn't have a scope. It's just got an iron sight. It's a rat-a-tat-tat gun, that's for sure. And yeah, that's all of his accessories. So I think that Doop is definitely an S-ranked character. He's got great articulation for what he is. He can move one arm up and down and rotate it. And that's about it. His other arm, he can kind of rotate it. There it goes. He can rotate it, and he can also move it up and down. Not much articulation going on with Doop, but Doop is definitely an amazing figure. I wasn't expecting that much articulation with Doop, so Doop definitely gets the S rank in my category. As a Maximum Series character, he's a wonderful little guy. Great, amazing stuff going on there. The Deadpool, almost there with an A+. He only gets the A+ because you can't take these swords off his back, and it doesn't have a waist rotation, which is just weird in my opinion. But otherwise, this Deadpool is an amazing figure. It may actually be the quintessential Deadpool figure in your collection. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this Deadpool. What do you think about the G.I. Joe class? Wrong toy line right there. What do you think about the Marvel Legends Maximum Series products? Do you like the Thor? Let me know in the comments. Are you excited about the Black Suit Spider-Man? Because I'll let you know I am. I didn't get the first Maximum Series Spider-Man because I knew they'd eventually come out with a black suit. And I want the black suit. I already have a Spider-Man. He's my Spider-Man. I got him at Toy Biz. He's 21 years old. He can drink. I think he's older than most Peter Parkers. Anyway, I've been Blind Prime. This has been my co-host Cream the Cat. And I hope all of you out there have a wonderful night. Until next Prime, bye for now.